Good morning, friends. How are you? After a long gap, I am here. Today, I am going to discuss about the most crucial and most typical theorem called Bayes theorem. But it was discussed in a different way, not in IPE model, but it will be discussed in a different way. So, this Bayes theorem is very useful in daily life. To be frank, at present, in this COVID-19 season, this Bayes theorem will apply to find the probability of a patient who died with COVID-19. So, this Bayes theorem proof is in our textbooks. We have the proof for IP examinations. The proof is also very important, but I am not going to prove it, but I will discuss this theorem in a different way. See, the theorem is, the statement is, suppose E1, E2, so on En are n mutually exclusive and exhaustive events in a sample space S with the probability of Ei greater than 0 for I is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on n in a random experiment. Then for any event A of the random experiment, P of Ek given A is equal to P of Ek into P of A given Ek by sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of Ei into P of A given Ei. Actually, this theorem is depending upon the conditional probability. So, the proof is, we know it was in the textbook and it was important for the IPE mode. But for the competitive examinations like JEE Mains or Advanced, the understanding of the theorem is very important. Okay, I will discuss this proof in a different way. Okay, right. So the statement is this one, and see the proof is. See, an event, the events E1, E2, so on En are n mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. What are mutually exclusive events? For example, E1 and E2 are said to be mutually exclusive if E1 intersection E2 is equal to 5. That means they do not have any common elements. If E1 intersection E2 is equal to 5, they are said to be mutually exclusive events. And what are exhaustive events? Exhaustive events means, suppose only E1, E2 are the events of a sample space, a random experiment, then their union, E1 union E2 is equal to S, then these two events are said to be exhaustive events. So, if E1 intersection E2 is equal to 5, they are said to be mutually exclusive events, and if E1 union E2 is equal to S, they are said to be exhaustive events. So, now see, the proof in the different way is tree diagram by using trees. This is very important method or procedure to do the problems in Bayes theorem. So I will prove this Bayes theorem by using trees. Trees means not natural trees, but they are diagrams like trees. See, the event, the key term in this theorem is event. These events are either E1 or E2 or so on, maybe Ek one of the event, and so on, En is the another last event. So these are the events. E1, E2, so on, Ek, and so on, En. After happening of E1, here the meaning of Ek given A means after A happens, then Ek happens. probability of A given Ek means after Ek happens, then A happens. So this is a conditional event and conditional probability. We will discuss a little bit. Just wait. And event even, after the event even happens, let A happens or others may be happens. E2 happen, after E2 happens, let A happens or some others happens. Similarly, after Ek happens, let A happens or others happens. And lastly, after En happens, let A happens and then others happens. So for any event A, we can go for A through different paths, through E1, through E2, through Ek and through En also. So here I want to find the probability of Ek given A means it was the probability of the event where A happens, then Ek happens. A happens, then Ek happens. That means this, in this diagram, this path represents this probability, this event Ek given A, this path. So out of all these paths, so many paths are having the event A happens, but this is the required path. So required probability is equal, it is P of Ek given A. That means if A happens, then it was happened after Ek is equal P of Ek given A. It happens P of this path, P of E1 intersection A, E1 of, sorry, A happens after E1, A happens after E2, A happens after Ek, A happens after En. So all these things comes the sum of, this is sum of probability of A, probability of path to A through Ek whole by sum of probability of all paths to A through Ei, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on up to N. So this is probability of path to A through Ek. Ek means it is nothing but probability of Ek intersection A by sum of all the paths. That means sigma I is equal to 1 to N probability of Ei intersection A, where I is equal to 1, 2, so on N. 1, 2, so on N. Now this is equals to, that is P of Ek given A is equals to, according to the multiplication theorem, P of A intersection B is equal to P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B given A. That is P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B given A, or P of B into P of A given B. This is the multiplication theorem. So if we apply this multiplication theorem here, this is P of Ek into P of A given Ek by sigma I is equal to 1 to N P of Ei into P of A given Ei. So P of Ek into P of A given Ek by sigma I is equal to 1 to N P of Ei into P of A given Ei, where K is equal to 1, 2, so on N. So that's the proof. Very simple. One more time I will explain. So in this theorem, the event is the most important word. So it is the base of the tree. So from the event, there are n events, E1, E2, so on, Ek, so on, En, n events. So after E1 happens, let A happens. Others also will happen. After E2 happens, let A happens. Similarly others. Similarly these trees. So our required probability is P of Ek given A means, that means if A is happened, if A is happened, then Ek is happened. That means if A is happened, show that it was happened through Ek. That means this is the path. This path is the required path which shows our required probability. So this path by sum of P probability of all paths to A through Ei, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on, n. So these two will become probability of Ek intersection A, because this happened, then this happened. So intersection portion, P of Ek intersection A by sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of A intersection A. So now according to the multiplication theorem, P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B given A, that is equal to P of B into P of A given B. So this is according to this theorem, this one is P of Ek into P of A given Ek by sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of Ei into P of A given Ei, where K is equal to 1 to so on n. So that's the proof of the theorem. It's not IPE proof, it's a different proof. And one more proof from geometric probability. Let us prove this one by using geometric probability. Another method. Method 2. By using geometric probability. So we know the geometric probability. Suppose this is the sample space S. Let this is the circle denoting with E. So the probability of the shaded portion is equal to area of circle by area of rectangle. So we know this geometrical probability from 10th class onwards. So by using this geometrical probability, let us prove this Bayes theorem. It's a simple theorem. See, this is the sample space S. Since E1, E2, so on, En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, I will draw the events like this. Like this. Let this is event 1 E1 and this is event 2, so on. This is event K, that is Ek, and so on. Let this is En. So this portion represents event 1 E1, this portion represents E2, and so on. This portion represents Ek, and so on. This portion represents En. Since these events are mutually exclusive, that means E1 intersection E2 is, here E1 intersection E2 is 5. There is no overlapping between these two regions. Similarly, there is no overlapping. So exhaustive events means sum of all these regions is equals to S. That is E1 union E2 union so on, union En is equal to S. So the portions are called the events. Let A be the any event of this random space. Let us take this is the A, any event A, any event A. So then shade this event A, shade this region. shade this region. Any event A represents like this. Okay. Now, for any event of the random experiment, probability of Ek given A means Ek given A, what is the conditional probability? Probability of Ek given A is equal to probability of Ek intersection A by probability of A. Probability of Ek, and what is the intersection portion of Ek and A? And this is the intersection portion of Ek and A. This portion. This is the intersection portion of Ek and A. So according to that conditional probability, it's very simple. Probability of Ek given A is equal to this portion is equal, the probability of Ek given A is equal to this portion by total portion, that is A intersection E1, that is here it is probability of this portion is A intersection Ek by total shaded portion. Total shaded portion means probability of A intersection E1 plus probability of A intersection E2 plus so on plus probability of A intersection En, all the shaded portions. This is the portion A intersection E1, this is the portion A intersection E2, and this is the portion A intersection Ek, and this is the portion A intersection En. So required probability P of Ek given A is equal to P of A intersection Ek by this one by P of A means total portions. Total portion. So total portion is P of A intersection E1 plus P of A intersection E2, so plus so on plus P of A intersection En. So according to this multiplication theorem, it can be written as P of Ek into P of A given Ek, this one, whole by this one can be written as sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of A intersection Ei. This can be written in sigma form. Sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of A intersection Ei. This is P of Ek into P of A given Ek by this is sigma I is equal to 1 to n P of Ei into P of A given Ei according to the multiplication theorem, where k is equal to 1 to so on n. So this is the proof. Proof of this one is this one. Simple in 2 steps. But we know how difficult to prove Bayes theorem in IP level. It is of course 7 marks question. It is of course 7 marks question, very important question for IPE. But these proofs are very useful to understand Bayes theorem and very useful to solve a Bayes theorem problem. Now let us do an example on Bayes theorem. Let us see the example on Bayes theorem. Actually, the problems on Bayes theorem are long and we should understood well. In an objective type examination, each question has 4 options, of which only one is correct. A student taking the examination either guesses or copies or knows the answer to any question. The probability that he guesses is 1 by 3 and that he copies is 1 by 6. The probability that he answers correctly if he copies is 1 by 8. If an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? So read the question again and again until you understood. That is the first thing. In an objective type examination, each question has 4 options, of which only one is correct. So underline the key terms. It is an objective type examination. Each question has 4 options, of which only one is correct. A student, here is the active person here, student, taking the examination either guesses or copies or knows the answer to any question. The probability that he guesses is 1 by 3 and that he copies is 1 by 6. The probability that he answers correctly if he copies is 1 by 8. If an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? If the answer is given to be correct, so this is the question. So let us do this problem in IPE model. Solution 1. Let 3 events E1, E2 and E3 represents a student write the examination or answer the question either by guesses or copies or knows the answer. E1 guesses, E2 copies the answer and E3 knows the answer. So he will take the examination, write the answer a question either by guesses or copies or knows the answer in 3 different ways. Let E1 be the event of guessing, E2 be the event of copying the answer, E3 be the event of knows the answer. So now the probabilities are given. The probability that he guesses is 1 by 3, that is P of E1 is equal to 1 by 3, and that he copies is 1 by 6. P of E2 is equal 1 by 6. Probability of E1 is given 1 by 3, probability of E2 given is 1 by 6. Automatically we can find the probability of E3. It is nothing but total probability 1 minus P of E1 minus P of E2. So 1 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6. 6 is the LCM. So 6 minus 2, 4, 4 minus 1, 3, 3 by 6, it is 1 by 2. So P of E3 is 1 by 2. The probability that, and also given that, the probability that he answers correctly if he copies is 1 by 8. He answers correctly. Let A be the event of the student answers the question correctly. Then P of A given, he answer, it is given to be, the probability that the answer he answers correctly if he copies means E2. So P of A given E2 is equal to 1 by 8. This was given. Then what is P of A given E1? P of A given E1 is nothing but he answers correctly if he guesses. So in how many ways, suppose in how many ways he will guess? Simple. It is an objective question, objective type examination, 4 options for one question. So out of 4, only one is the correct answer. So P of A given E1 is 1 by 4. Can you say what is P of A given E3? Can you say what is P of A given E3? That means he answers correctly when he knows the answer. E3 means he knows the answer. If he knows the answer, he answers correctly means it is always a sure event, that is always equals to 1. If he knows the answer, he will answer correctly. A given E3 means probability of A given E3 means when he knows the answer, he answers correctly, that means that probability is always 1. It's a sure event. Certain event or sure event. Now, required probability RP. What is required probability? What is the if an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? Knew the answer means P of E3 given A. We have to find this one. P of E3 given A. According to Bayes' theorem, it can be written as P of E3 into P of A given E3 whole by P of E1 into P of A given E1. plus P of E2 into P of A given E2 plus P of E3 into P of A given E3. So this is equals to P of E3 means here P of E3 is 1 by 2 into P of A given E3 is 1 whole by P of E1 means 1 by 3 into P of A given E1, it is 1 by 4 plus P of E2 means 1 by 6 into P of A given E2, it is 1 by 8 plus P of E3 means 1 by 2 into P of E given E3 is 1 by 1. Now it is 1 by 2 by 1 by 12 plus 1 by 48 plus 1 by 2. So this can be written as 1 by 2 by 48 is the LCM. So 12 4s are 48 1s are plus 2 24s are 1 by 2 into 48 by this is 24 25 29. So 2 24s are 24 by 29 is the required answer. This is the IPE approach. In this problem, selecting the events, selecting E1, E2, E3 and selecting A is very important, and after that the problem is very simple. But if we use the tree diagram for solving this Bayes theorem, see how simple it is. We can answer any question relating to this problem in any way. See, here the key person in this total problem is the student, because he is answering, he is writing the examination. He may answer a question in 3 different ways. He may answer the question by guess. He may guess the question answer. He may copies the answer. He may knows the answer. 3 different ways. It may be correct or incorrect. Correct or incorrect. Here also correct or incorrect. 2 possibilities. Here only correct, there is no incorrect case. Why? Since he knows the answer, he will always correct, he will always put correct answer. So there is no incorrect case. Suppose if you write incorrect case, no problem. Suppose you write similar to that incorrect, no problem at all. Okay. So see the problem. The probability that he guesses is 1 by 3. Write down here 1 by 3. These are the trees. Or you need not put arrow marks, of course. 1 by 3. And that he copies is 1 by 6. And he knows the answer means sum of these 3 probabilities is equals to 1. Sum of these 3 probabilities means it is 1 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6 is equals to 1 by 2. This is 1 by 2. And if he guesses, the correct answer is 1 by 4. Because out of 4, 1 is correct. So if he guesses, its probability is, the correct answer is, the probability of correct answer is 1 by 4. Incorrect, we don't need, but of course it is 3 by 4, because sum of these two always 1. If he copies the answer, it is correct, it was given. The answers correctly if he copies 1 by 8. So this is 1 by 8, so it is 7 by 8. If he knows the answer means, it is 1, so this is 0. So now required probability. What is the question? If an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? That means this is the required path. This is the required path. This path is the required path. So required probability is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by other sum of all other parts. This path and this path. 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6 into 1 by 8 plus 1 by 2 into 1. nothing but 24 by 29 if you simplify it. See how simple. If the question is changes in different ways like this, if an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student guesses the answer? Then the numerator is 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 and the denominator is same. If the question is if an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student copies the answer? Then the numerator is 1 by 6 into 1 by 8 and the denominator is same. Suppose if the question is like this, if an answer is given to be incorrect, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? Means this is incorrect. 1 by 2 into 0 by denominator. Of course, it is 0. If an answer is given to be incorrect, what is the probability that the student guesses the answer? Then it is 1 by 3 into 3 by 4 by the denominators 1 by 3, 3 by 4 plus 1 by 6 into 7 by 8 plus 1 by 2 into 0. Like this, you will, by using these trees, you can answer 6 problems, 6 sub-problems under this problem. So, tree diagrams are very useful to solve the problems on Bayes' theorem. So, this is the second method and that is called tree diagrams, trees. And now geometric probability, it is also very easy and very useful to solve these Bayes' theorem problems. See, this is the sample space of the random experiment. A random experiment means a student writing the examination is the random experiment. In this sample space, there are 3 events. He guesses the answer, he copies the answer, and he knows the answer. So, this is guesses. He guesses. This is he copies the answer. And this is he knows the answer. Right. So, what is the probability that he guesses? It was given, it as 1 by 3. It was 1 by 3. It was given. He copies is 1 by 6. Since sum of the 3 probabilities is equals to 1, because these 3 are mutually, exhaustive events, mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, sum of these 3 probabilities is equals to 1. So, the third one is automatically 1 by 2. And suppose what is the probability? Suppose the probability that he guesses is 1 by 3, copies is, the probability that he answers correctly if he copies is 1 by 8. So, this is 1 by 8. And if he guesses, it is 1 by 4. Out of 4, 1 is correct. So, if he guesses, out of 4, 1 is correct. So, the probability is 1 by 4. And he knows it is always 1. If he knows, it is always 1. Then required probability is equal to what he asked. If an answer is given to be correct, what is the probability that the student knew the answer? Knew the answer means this is the numerator portion. So, 1 into 1 by 2 by all the 3. 1 by 4 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 8 into 1 by 6 plus 1 into 1 by 2. Absolutely 24 by 29. How simple. So, these diagrams will be easily drawn if we practice all the Bayes' theorem problems by using these trees and these geometrical probability. This is geometrical probability. My sincere advice to the students or even the teachers, please practice Bayes' theorem problems for IPE purpose. Practice the problems as in textbook. But for competitive examination purpose, please practice the problems by using the trees or by using the geometrical probability. So, and one more thing I want to mention here is, last month I lost my best friend Shankar Rao, my thick friend, my whole soulmate. I lost him. My sincere advisor he is and this lesson is dedicated to him. And thank you very much to all. Thank you.